warm welcome to Mastermind India here on BBC World. We continue our nationwide quiz contest with India's best informed minds with another set of preliminaries to conduct which we've moved from Mumbai in the west and Chennai in the south to New Delhi in the north. The space we are in now is both sacred and elevated. For the next 4 weeks, we'll be conducting Mastermind India here in this hallowed and historic Cathedral Church of the Redemption. This classic Anglican church was built as an adjunct of the imperial Acropolis atop Raisina Hill that crowned the new capital of the British just north of the Viceregal Palace. The altar was properly oriented to the rising sun, traditional symbol of the resurrected Christ. But the main view is from the south, at the end of an axis from the Viceroy's forecourt. Designed by the government's chief architect, H.A.N. Med, handpicked in competition by New Delhi's master architect, Edwin Lutyens, the plan recalls both Lutyens' churches in Hampstead as well as Palladio's Il Redentore in Venice. Popularly known as the Viceroy's Church on account of Lord Irwin's personal interest, it was opened for public worship in 1931. It is in fact a people's church, built entirely out of public subscription and gifts, and its serene and elegant interiors are open to all members of the public and has witnessed many commemorative occasions in the history of the country. It's in this classic setting, then, that we'll be conducting our classic quiz. We'll begin, as always, with our specialized subject round, to be followed in the second half of the program by our general knowledge round. So may I now call upon our first contender, please. Your name?
Pranav Khulla.
Occupation?
Civil servant.
What subject have you chosen for your specialized subject?
The life and times of J. Abdul Kalam.
Pranav Khulla, if you're ready, we'll start 2 minutes of questions on your chosen area of specialization starting now. Which son of the high priest in the Rameshwaram temple was a close childhood friend of Abdul Kalam?
Ramanath Shastri.
Correct. Which former revolutionary in Rameshwaram allowed young Abdul Kalam to borrow books from his personal library?
S.T.R. Manikam.
Correct. Name the street in Rameshwaram where APJ Abdul Kalam's ancestral home stands.
Mosque Street.
Correct. Which school did Abdul Kalam enter to pursue higher education in Ramanathpuram?
Schwartz High School.
Correct. What name did Dr. Abdul Kalam personally assign to the development of the re-entry experiment launch vehicle?
Rex.
No, it's Agni. Who mortgaged her gold bangles and chain to get Abdul Kalam admitted to the prestigious Madras Institute of Technology?
Zohra.
Correct. Name Abdul Kalam's first cousin, a newspaper distributor who helped him earn his first wages at the age of 8.
Shamsuddin.
Correct. In which city was Abdul Kalam posted while in the aircraft and armament testing unit for shop floor exposure in maintenance?
Kanpur.
Correct. Name the Swami whom Abdul Kalam met in Rishikesh, who counseled him after he failed to join the Indian Air Force?
Swami Shivanand Saraswati.
Correct. Which essay did Abdul Kalam write for in a competition organized by the Tamil Sangam that won him the first prize?
Let us make our own aircraft.
Correct. Name Abdul Kalam's Austrian professor in Madras who taught him technical aerodynamics?
Kurt Sponder.
Correct. Which religious edifice housed the first office of the Tumba Space Center with the prayer room as Abdul Kalam's laboratory?
St. Mary Magdalene Church.
Correct. Name the creator of the V-2 missiles used in the Second World War whom Abdul Kalam met after his return from France?
Werner von Braun.
Correct. About whom did Dr. Abdul Kalam say, "I consider him the Mahatma Gandhi of Indian science"?
Vikram Sarabhai.
Correct. Which Indian historical figure was depicted in a painting at the reception at the Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia?
Tipu Sultan.
Correct. At which NASA institute in Virginia did Abdul Kalam start his training program in the United States?
Langley Research Center.
Correct. Where on the outskirts of Delhi did Professor Sarabhai show Abdul Kalam the Russian Rato?
Tilpat Range.
Correct. Which joint secretary in the Department of Science did Kalam first meet in a SLV-3 management board meeting in 1975?
T.N. Session.
Correct. News of... I've started, so I'll finish. News of whose death reached Abdul Kalam when the static test of the first stage motor of the SLV-3 project was in progress?
Jalaluddin.
Is correct. And at the end of your 2 minutes of time on your chosen area of specialization, Pranav Khulla, I find you've scored 18 points with no passes. Thank you very much. May I call upon our next contender, please? Your name?
Naveen Sharma.
Occupation?
Engineering student.
Your chosen area of specialization?
French Open Tennis Men's Championship after the Second World War.
Naveen Sharma, if you're ready, we'll start 2 minutes of questions on your chosen area of specialization starting now. Which Swedish baseliner became the youngest winner of the French Open with a victory over Guillermo Vilas in 1982?
Mats Wilander.
Is correct. Which Frenchman won the first championship after the Second World War in 1946?
Marcel Bernard.
Correct. Who became the only men's singles champion from Hungary when he beat E.W. Sturgis of South Africa in 1947?
Joseph Asboth.
Correct. Which player lost the 1946, 48, and 50 finals before back-to-back wins in 51 and 52?
Yaroslav Drobny.
Correct. In 1964, who became the first Spaniard to win the title on Roland Garros?
Manuel Santana.
Correct. Who did Romania's Ilina Stase beat in 1973 to win his only French Open title?
Niki Pelic.
Correct. Which Italian won the title in 1959 and 60 before losses in the 61 and 64 finals?
Nicola Pitiangeli.
Correct. In 1957, who became the first of 3 Swedes to win the men's singles title at Roland Garros?
Sven Davidson.
Correct. Name the American who won back-to-back titles in 54 and 55 with victories over Larson and Davidson.
Tony Rebert.
Correct. Name the Czech player who won consecutive titles in 1970 and 71 before winning Wimbledon in 73.
Jan Cordes.
Correct. Which Spaniard did Bjorn Borg beat in the 74 finals, taking the first of 6 French Open titles?
Manolo Rantes.
Correct. Which Spaniard won the title in 72 when several of the top ATP Tour pros chose to boycott the French Open?
Adriano Panata.
No, it's Andres Gimeno. Which player led by 2 sets to love before going down in 5 sets to Ivan Lendl in the 1984 final?
John McEnroe.
Correct. In 1983, who became the first Frenchman in 37 years to win the men's singles of the French Open?
Yannick Noah.
Correct. Name the Paraguayan clay courter beaten in 79 by Bjorn Borg for his 4th French Open crown?
Pass.
In 1990, who became the first man from Ecuador to win the French Open title?
Andres Gomez.
Correct. In 1989, who became the first American to win the title since Chabert dispatching Lendl and Edberg en route?
Michael Chang.
Correct. Who won the French Open singles title in 1966 and then coached the winner of the title in 84, 86, and 87?
Tony Roach.
Is correct. And that is time. At the end of your 2 minutes of time on your chosen area specialization, Naveen Sharma, I find you've scored 16 points with 1 pass. Thank you very much. May I now call upon our next contender, please. Your name,
Jai Jhende,
occupation,
business executive.
what subject have you chosen for your specialized area?
Arjun in Ved Vyasa's Mahabharata.
We'll start your time now. Which primeval rishi, a son of Daksha, was reincarnated as Arjun?
Pass.
What conch was given by the Asura architect Maya to Arjun in gratitude for sparing his life?
Devdatta.
Correct. What weapon did Drona confer on Arjun for rescuing him from a giant crocodile in the Ganga?
Brahmashirastra.
Correct. Which of Arjun's wives was the daughter of Kauravya?
Ulupi.
Correct. Which Gandharv chief captured Duryodhan, releasing him at Arjun's request?
Chitrasen.
Correct. Whom did Arjun carry away while the Yadavs were celebrating a festival at Mount Revataka?
Subhadra.
Correct. At which god's request did Varun present Arjun with the bow Gandiv?
Agni.
Correct. Who cursed Arjun to become a eunuch because he refused to be seduced by her?
Urvashi.
Correct. Which sage was surprised when he saw Indra sharing his throne with Arjun?
Alomash.
Correct. On which mountain did Indra appear in the form of an old Brahmin who advised Arjun to give up his weapons?
Himalaya.
No, it's Indrakila. Who was blessed by Shiv that he could defeat all the Pandavas on any one day except Arjun?
Jayadratha.
Correct. Which Parva of the Mahabharata describes how Krishna agreed to become Arjun's charioteer?
Udyog Parva.
Correct. Name the only commander-in-chief of the corps of forces who was killed by Arjun himself?
Karna.
Correct. What name did Arjun assume while posing as a music and dance instructress in Virat's court?
Brahmanada.
Correct. Which grandson of Arjun succeeded Yudhishthir on the throne of Hastinapur?
Parikshit.
Correct. Which god was Arjun's battle emblem?
Of Hanuman.
Correct. Which of his sons killed Arjun with Ilupi, immediately bringing him back to life?
Babruvahan.
Correct. Which aged king of Pragjyotisha was killed by Arjun along with his elephant Supratik?
Bhagadatta.
Correct.
Bhagadatta.
Which of Arjun's 10 names did he receive because white horses were yoked to his chariot?
Shvetvahan.
Correct. Which kingdom was ruled by Susarma, the leader of the Samashaptakas, who had vowed to distract Arjun?
The Trigartas.
Correct. Which of the 4 Dikpalas, the guardians of the south, presented Arjun with his special weapon, the Dandastra?
Kuber. Yam.
No, I have to accept the first one. It is in fact Yam, and at the end of your 2 minutes of time on your chosen area, Jai Jhende, I find you scored 18 points with 1 pass. Thank you very much. May I now call upon our 4th contender, please. Your name,
K.E. Priyamvada,
Occupation?
copy editor.
What subject have you chosen for your specialized subject?
The life and work of Raja Ravi Verma.
K. Priyamvada, if you're ready, we'll start 2 minutes of questions on your chosen area, starting now. Where in Kerala was Ravi Verma born on 29th April 1848?
Kilimanur,
Correct. Which poetess was Ravi Verma's mother?
Uma Ambabai Tampurati.
Correct. In May 1862, which king of Travancore invited Ravi Verma to Thiruvananthapuram to learn painting in oils?
Ailyam Tirunal,
Correct. Name the house inside Travancore fort that was given to Ravi Verma by Ailyam Tirunal.
Mudatumadam,
Correct. Which book of religious pictures by Edward Moore did Ailyam Tirunal present to Ravi Verma?
the Hindu Pantheon.
Correct. Which artist from Madurai refused to teach Ravi Verma the art of oil painting, seeing a potential rival in him?
Ramaswamy Nayakar,
Correct. Which student of Ramaswamy Nayakar taught Ravi Verma in secret visiting Mudat Madam late at night?
Arumugam Pillai,
Correct. To which Saraswati temple did Ravi Verma perform a pilgrimage, his first visit outside Travancore as an adult?
Mukambika,
Correct. For painting which subject at Kozhikode did Ravi Verma receive his first payment as a painter?
the Kirakipalat Krishna Menon family.
Correct. What award did Ailyam Tirunal present to Ravi Verma for his portraits of the Maharaja and Maharani?
A Bangle of Honor.
No,
Veera
it's-
Shringala.
Which was your first answer?
Veera Shringala means Bangle of Honor.
Accepted. Which painting won Ravi Verma the gold medal at the Madras show organized by Lord Hobart in 1873?
Nair woman adorning her hair with a garland of jasmine.
Correct. Which painting shows a Tamil woman from the Travancore royal family throwing a silver coin to a beggar?
Charity.
No, it's Heights and Depths. What is the alternative title of the painting Gypsies of South India, showing a fortune teller and a family?
Daridram or poverty.
Correct. For which translation of a Sanskrit poem by Sir Monia Williams was a Ravi Verma painting used as the frontispiece?
Shakuntala.
Correct. Which painting from an episode in the Ramayana did the Divan of Travancore, Sir T. Madhav Rao, buy in 1880?
Sita Bhupravesham.
Correct. Which Maharaja of Mysore presented Ravi Verma with a baby elephant in 1884?
Jayachama Rajendra Vodeyar.
Correct. What book did Raja Raja Verma write about the trip that his brother made with Aswati Tirunal Martand Verma?
A tour of Upper India.
Correct. Who paid the expenses for Ravi Verma? I've started, so I'll finish. Who paid the expenses for Ravi Verma to send 10 paintings to the Columban Exposition in Chicago in 1893?
Vishakam Tirunal.
No, it's Maharaja Sayaji Rao Gaikwad. And at the end of your 2 minutes of time on your chosen area of specialization, K. Priyamvada, I find you've scored 16 points with no passes. Thank you very much. And that concludes our opening round, in which each of the contenders took on questions on a subject of their own choosing, and we've seen some very good scores indeed in that round. To take a look at the relative positions, let's look at the scoreboard. Tied in third place with 16 points apiece are the engineering student from Lucknow and the copy editor from Delhi, but tied at the top spot at this stage of the contest with 18 points apiece are the business executive from Delhi and the civil servant also from Delhi. There's very little separating all 4 contenders at this stage of the contest. That means we have the makings of a cliffhanger in the general knowledge round, which has so often proved to be the decider. We'll conduct that round after a very short break. Do join us then. Welcome back to Mastermind India. We're ready to conduct the second half of this preliminary, which is a general knowledge round, in which each of the contenders will take on 2 minutes of questions on general knowledge. I'd like to remind the viewers at this stage that in the event of a tie for the top spot, then the contender with the least amount of passes comes out on top. And as always, we'll call upon the contenders according to the scores that they've achieved in the opening round, in ascending order. May I now call upon the contender who's at present in 4th place, please. Naveen Sharma, in your opening round, your specialized subject was the French Tennis Championships for men after the Second World War, in which you scored 16 points with 1 pass. If you're ready, we'll start your set of general knowledge questions now. Who was the director of the film The Bridge on the River Kwai?
David Lean.
Correct. Who was the youngest person to become Prime Minister of India?
Rajiv Gandhi.
Correct. On which hill in Delhi did Edwin Lutyens build a palace for the viceroys?
Rassiana Hill.
Correct. About which book did Karl Marx say that he had sacrificed health, happiness, and family while writing it?
Communist Manifesto.
No, it's Das Kapital. Who sang the title song of the film Pretty Woman?
Roy Orbison.
Correct. Which pilgrimage site where the Brahma temple is named for a lotus that fell from Brahma's hand?
Ajmer.
The pilgrimage site itself, can you name it, please?
It's Alwa.
No, it's Pushkar. Which unit of distance is equivalent to 3.26 light years?
Eon.
No, it's parsec. Which Sultan of Delhi built the Quwwatul Islam Mosque using the remains of 27 demolished temples?
Humayun.
No, it's Qutbuddin Aibak. Which European firm's new super jumbo aeroplane is called A3XX?
Airbus.
Is correct. To which island was Napoleon exiled by the victorious Allies in 1814?
Elba.
Correct. Which is the highest peak in Greece?
Pass.
Name the Russian swimmer who won the 50 meters freestyle for men at the 92 and 96 Olympics?
Alexander Popov.
Correct. Which industrialist was made an honorary Air Vice Marshal of the Indian Air Force in 1974?
J.R.D. Tata.
Correct. Name the 23rd Jain Tirthankar for whom the Digambara Jain Mandir in Delhi was built in 1526?
Pass.
Who was the only man aboard the spacecraft Vostok 1 on 12th April 1961?
Yuri Gagarin.
Correct. How many deciliters are there in 1 liter?
10.
Correct. In what monument's honor did the American poetess Emma Lazarus write The New Colossus?
Statue of Liberty.
Correct. Which former actress won the National Award for Best Costume Design in 1999 for the film Hey Ram?
Sarika.
Correct. Which national anthem begins, "Oh say, can you see by dawn's early light"?
Is the American national anthem.
Is correct, the Star Spangled Banner. At the end of your 2 minutes of time on general knowledge questions, Naveen Sharma, I find you've scored 29 points with 3 passes. Thank you very much. May I now call upon our next contender, please? K. Priyamvada, in your opening round, your specialized subject was the life and works of Raja Ravi Varma, in which you scored 16 points with no passes. If you're ready, we'll start your set of general knowledge questions now. Which laureate could not receive the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1991 because she was under house arrest from 1989 to 1995?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
Correct. In which 1979 film directed by Robert Benton did Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep play a divorcing couple?
Kramer versus Kramer.
Correct. Which European country's national language is Magyar?
Hungary.
Correct. To which West Indian country does Sir Viv Richards belong?
Antigua.
Correct. Which planet was explored by the NASA spacecraft Viking 1 and Viking 2?
Mars.
Correct. In which city is Graceland, Elvis Presley's mansion?
Atlanta.
No, it's Memphis, Tennessee. In which country did the Boxer Rebellion break out in 1900?
China.
Correct. Which Polish leader won the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1983?
Lech Walesa.
Correct. On which island in the Indian Ocean was the dodo found?
Mauritius.
Correct. Who established the Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta?
Mahalanobis.
Correct. Who was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh at the time of the Bhopal gas tragedy in December 1984?
V.C. Shukla.
No, it's Arjun Singh. In which film was the song Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head first sung?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Correct. Which nation surrendered on 2nd September 1945 aboard the USS Missouri?
Japan.
Correct. With reference to genetics, what does the A stand for in DNA?
Acid.
Correct. Which US official's plane is called Air Force 2?
The Vice President.
Correct. Which Indian singer's album Cipher has been used as part of the soundtrack for the film Dollar Dreams?
Lucky Ali.
Correct. How many shillings were there in a guinea?
20.
No, it's 21. What title did Charlemagne assume after his coronation on Christmas Day, AD 800?
Holy Roman Emperor.
Correct. What is the capital of Iceland?
Reykjavik.
Correct. Which elusive aristocrat regularly outwitted the French intelligence against Chauvelin during the French Revolution?
The Scarlet Pimpernel.
Also Percy Blakeney is correct. Founded on 4th September 1781, which city's full title is the Village of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels?
Pass.
According to the Iliad, who killed Hector? You can take that.
Achilles.
Is correct. And at the end of your 2 minutes of times on general knowledge, K. Priyamvada, I find you've scored 34 points with 1 pass. Thank you very much. May I call upon our next contender, please? Jai Chande, in your opening round, your specialized subject was Arjun and Ved Vyasa's Mahabharata, in which you scored 18 points with 1 pass. If you're ready, we'll start your set of general knowledge questions now. Name the first woman in outer space.
Valentina Tereshkova.
Correct. Which state capital's name derives from the legendary Raja Bhoj?
Bombay.
No, it's Bhopal. Which American, the son of a president, was the founder editor of the magazine George?
Edward Kennedy.
No, it's John F. Kennedy Jr. In which European city is the headquarters of UNESCO?
Paris.
It's correct. Which comic strip superhero was educated at the Collegium Magicos?
Harry Potter.
No, it's Mandrake, the magician. Which US president invited Anwar al-Sadat and Menachem Begin to a conference at Camp David in September 1978?
John F. Kennedy.
No, it's Jim Carter. Which internet search engine's name was inspired by the term meaning 1 followed by 100 zeros?
Google.
Correct. Who was shot by John W. Hinckley Jr. on 30th March 1981?
Kennedy.
No, it's Ronald Reagan. How many lines are there in a sonnet?
14.
Correct. Which animal is the symbol of the Republican Party in the United States?
Elephant.
Correct. Which Mongol emperor was served by Marco Polo?
Kublai Khan.
Correct. About what item of apparel did Carl Perkins write a song that Elvis Presley performed?
Blue suede shoes.
Correct. In the Asterix comic books, who is the wife of the village chief? Vital statistics?
Petunia.
No, it's Impedimenta. What avenue did London's Pall Mall inspire Edwin Lutyens to create when he was designing Delhi?
Rajpath.
No, it's Janpat. Which Japanese emperor assumed Showa, glorious peace, as his reigning name?
Hirohito.
Correct. What was baseball star George Herman Ruth's nickname?
Babe Ruth.
Correct. Which Australian state bears the name of an English queen?
Victoria.
Correct. Which part of the human body is studied by otologists?
Knees.
No, it's the ear. Who was the emperor of Rome when Jesus was crucified?
Nero.
No, it's Tiberius. Who discovered the phenomenon of radioactivity in 1896? You can take
Becquerel.
that.
Becquerel.
Is correct. At the end of your 2 minutes of time on general knowledge questions, Jay Jende, I find you've scored 29 points with 1 pass. Thank you very much. May I now call upon our next contender, please? Pranav Khulla, in the opening round, your specialized subject was the life and times of APJ Abdul Kalam, a subject in which you scored 18 points with no passes. The score you have to emulate now to be able to win this round is 34. If you're ready, we'll start your set of general knowledge questions now. Into which sea does the Narmada flow?
Arabian.
Correct. Who was Kim Jong-il's predecessor as president of North Korea?
Pass.
What nautical symbol does the cartoon character Popeye the Sailor have tattooed on his arm?
Pass.
Which is the largest sect in Christianity?
Roman Catholic.
Correct. Which Russian nuclear submarine sank in August 2000 during naval exercises?
Kursk.
Correct. Which princely state's last capital was Udaipur?
Mewar.
Correct. Name the national security advisor that President Nixon sent on a secret mission to China in July 1971.
Kissinger.
Correct. Name the character Tom Hanks played, which won him his second consecutive Best Actor Oscar in 1994.
Pass.
In which Tintin book did Al Capone make an appearance?
Pass.
On which river does Washington, D.C. stand?
Potomac.
Correct. Which constellation is named after the wife of Perseus in Greek myth?
Eurydice.
No, it's Andromeda. Which holy site in Delhi marks the spot where Brahma sat and meditated on Vishnu?
Pass.
Which book by Alex Garland has been made into a film starring Leonardo DiCaprio?
Titanic.
No, it's The Beach. After which Norse goddess is Friday named?
Frigga.
Correct. Other than Topra, from where was an Ashokan pillar moved to Delhi by Firoz Shah Tughlaq?
Pass.
Which French playwright's actual name was Jean-Baptiste Poquelin?
Pass.
Which Latin American nation has an eagle and a snake on its flag?
Brazil.
No, it's Mexico. According to European astrology, what is the star sign of those born on 2nd October?
Libra.
Correct. In 1959, who became the first Indian woman to swim the English Channel?
Pass.
And that is time. Pranav Khulla, at the end of your 2 minutes of time on general knowledge questions, I find you scored 26 points with 8 passes. Thank you very much. And that completes both rounds of this preliminary of Mastermind India. And to find out what the actual results are, let's turn quickly to the scoreboard. In fourth place with 26 points is the civil servant from Delhi. Tied in second place with 29 points apiece are the engineering student from Lucknow and the business executive from Delhi. But the winner of this round of Mastermind India with a score of 34 points is the copy editor from Delhi, K. Priyambada. Join us again at the same place, same time, next week for another preliminary of Mastermind India. Till then, goodbye.